Now play those damn notes. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, Lee.
Football.
Can't escape this bullshit.
ESPN, the global leader in sports.
Welcome to the Pop Fantasy Football Week 3 recap brought to you by Panels on Pages Popcast. I'm Jason Nyes, representing the 1-2 2019 Kerouac champions, 90s TV legend Will Friedle. Joining me this week, representing the 3-0 Brooklyn Dark Knights, Pop Fantasy Football Commissioner Tito Cruz.
Oh, that brownie was real, and it was legit.
Representing the 0-3 Tell 'em Kelly Eats Band-Aids, Pop Fantasy Football Kerouac Commissioner Dan Mahoney.
Listen, it's fine. Nobody worry about it. It's fine.
Representing the 1-2 Selecciones Arriscadas, the 2017 Asterisk champion and 2019 Pop Fantasy Football champion, Jose Guzman.
I also got beat by a brownie. It was legit.
And finally, our special guest for this evening, representing the 3-0 Los Ingobernables de Estados Unidos, the Dark Prince of Pop Fantasy Football, Kelly Harrass.
I'm so glad you introduced me with my official title.
He is the Dark Prince, the 3-0 Dark Prince. We've been begging Kelly to come on the show for 3 weeks now, and he finally succumbed to our feminine wiles. It's good to have you, Kelly.
I'm happy to be here.
Just killing it this season, man. Killing it.
Yeah, it's all gonna go downhill eventually, but let's ride this wave.
Jose and I were talking about it. Your whole strategy about picking dudes based on their cool hair seems to be working
out pretty good.
Yeah.
And the cool names, like I still haven't dropped Debo Samuel because, I mean, fuck.
His name is Debo.
Yeah, his name's Debo.
How are you going to drop a Debo?
Yeah, he's been sitting
you
on my
drop him.
IR list.
He drops you.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta
I
love.
noticed this week that Tad still has Saquon Barkley on his IR list. And I'm like, I don't know if you're just real optimistic or you just haven't noticed. Like,
Well,
he's not coming back.
because like some IR tags are not real IR
Yeah.
this
Right.
season, but his IR, like they've already announced, no, he's not coming back.
Yeah, he's all done. It's
That's
not a
the-
keeper league. You can let him go.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would keep him on the IR is if it was a keeper. But do you really want to keep a running back coming off a knee injury like that?
Yeah, it's-
And ACL. He's yeah, it's gonna be different for him next year.
Yeah. He might. I mean, Adrian Peterson's a different kind of dude.
That's a monster right there.
He blew both of his knees out and still is trucking.
Who knows?
That dude's
Maybe
gonna be like 60. He's like, somebody pick me up. Let's go.
maybe Tad thinks he can hold on to Barkley for a trade with Shark at some point.
Can't hurt.
All right.
That's right.
Well, let's get right into it. Sending it over to Mahoney with the Week 3 scoreboard.
Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.
All right, week 3 was very interesting. Nice. You got any preference on where we start?
Wherever. I'm ready. I'm ready to loosey goosey.
All right,
You know.
Let's start with your order here. We'll start with QAnon's Guide to Idiocy and 90s TV legend Will Friedle.
I like it.
That is, of course, Tad and you.
Yeah. Of course.
Nice. What happened? You were 0-2 and you dropped a tremendous beating on Tad, 120 to 91.5.
It was,
You ruined it. You were supposed to go 0-3. What are you doing?
those first 2 weeks, it was basically preseason. We're just getting our feelers out there. Timmy Brady, is getting the knocking the rust off.
Getting to know his teammates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's I think it's going real well down there in dirtbag Tampa Bay. I'm gonna keep picking up Buccaneers. I don't give a damn. My team will look like the way Gino's team used to be filled with Dallas Cowboys.
You can pick up the big dummy. He's still available.
Yeah.
Oh, don't think I've considered it. If it weren't for the fact that I had to drop someone to take Kittle off of IR, oh yeah, I was grabbing that big dummy. Still might.
Well, can't say I blame you. Both of you, we named your team 90s TV legend Will Friedle, trying to get you out of the 80s and into the 90s, and man, did that work for you. So
Got you into the 120s.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty excellent.
Last week
And
I
neither
said,
of you even made a move at the waiver deadline. Like, neither of you picked anybody up, so roll with it. Why not? You're both doing great at 1 and 2. You could be doing better, but you're both doing great. You're putting up respectable scores at least.
Yeah, but could have been
even if
doing
you're
a
not
lot
winning.
worse. Like if Tampa didn't make that turnaround, he's in for a world of hurt.
for sure. I still got Derek Carr's scrub ass sitting on my bench thinking that
You never
Tom
know.
Brady experiment wasn't going to happen.
Well, Brady will have a bye some week.
Sure.
All right. Mel and Mary. Mary's another one. Mary was 0-2. We didn't know what was going to go on with her. I don't think any of us picked Mary to win last week.
I
Let's take a
did.
look. You did. You were the... Oh, no, you were not the only one. Jose also picked Mary. So she was 0-2. She was struggling. And she, talk about your beatdown, she just crushed Mel. Mel got 118. Didn't stand a chance against Mary's 141.
Yeah, and lost.
141, 27 points from her defense. 26 and a half from some random rookie.
Yeah,
You
Jefferson
put
came
up
through.
118. You're thinking you got a good shot.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. You put up 118 and lose by 20, you're just like, fuck this whole season.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
ridiculous.
That first season, that week 1 of that first season we did PPR, and the scores all looked like this, I was ready to fucking delete my account.
Yeah, I did not like it.
I love it.
was wild. All right, Kelly. The
That's me.
3-0 Kelly Harrass. We got 123 to 74. I didn't even look at Matt. I don't know. I didn't even look at this because you were so far ahead. I just stopped paying attention to this game. But how did Matt wind up with 74? What went wrong?
I'm not sure. Like,
Lamar Jackson went wrong. Only
Well,
15
yeah.
points.
mhm.
Well, yeah, that'll do it.
That definitely hurt.
He's
but
going to be much better later on in the season, though. Wouldn't you all agree?
Hopefully.
You
I don't know.
hope so.
I think they figured him out, and he's just going to tank the rest.
No,
of
I
the
think it
season.
was probably just nerves or something, maybe.
Yeah, it just seemed like most of his players just really underperformed for whatever reason this week.
Yeah, wild. 74.
Well, they were
looked
talking
like a
about
Mahoney score.
Baltimore not finishing the season this year.
No, that's no good.
What?
They're just not. Yeah, the whole team's like, maybe we should.
I wouldn't put it all on Lamar Jackson either. Like 15 points isn't great, but it's not terrible.
Let me tell you, 15 points is better than any of my quarterback
Yeah, but-
scores
yeah,
this season.
He only
Those
had
15 points came in like the fourth quarter, though.
Yeah, but he also only had 2 other players in double digits, so his whole
Yeah.
team shit the
Yeah.
bed.
KC shut those fuckers down. They
Fucking-
came out, which
Ca-
maybe also, nobody was ready for Herbert, but maybe they looked past the Chargers to Baltimore,
Maybe.
and that's kind of why they kind of
Struggled a little bit there.
struggled against the Chargers. Their whole, because they came out against Baltimore like laser focused from the fucking start.
Yeah.
Kelly's tight end, Dallas Goedert, got 0.5. His defense, the Giants' defense, got -4, but then you got Drew Brees, 29, Dalvin Cook, 24, Aaron Jones, 14, Tyler Lockett, 32.5.
Yeah, he fucking
It blew up.
Yep.
Seattle had themselves a day.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see
Wow.
that by looking at my team.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
Wow, just go
don't
ahead
worry.
and fucking twist that knife in.
We'll look at your team in a minute. So Shark Matt made his waiver wire pickup this week, which was the highly sought after. I don't know if I'm going to get this name right, but Alan Lazard. Lazard.
Yeah, that's the
Lasagna.
Yeah, I'd go Lazard.
Lasagna.
the
That's,
wideout
Lasagna.
from Green Bay.
that
Yeah,
sounds like
who
a
then-
lizard person in people costume.
Had like a massive game last week, was a huge waiver ad, and now he's had surgery and he's out indefinitely. They don't know if he's ever coming back.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Surgery for what?
You know what? It was something so weird. I was like, I've never even heard of that.
Penile enhancement.
Yeah, penile enhancement. He was like, after that game, this thing's got to get bigger.
Or maybe it was reduction. Maybe he was like, I could play better if this hog wasn't so wild.
Yeah, it keeps just
he
flopping.
He had core muscle surgery.
His hog's so
like his
wild when he was
abs.
running, it just kept beating against his knees. He's got 2 bruised knees.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder if he just like tore his abs like the fucking Rock did
Probably.
when he had to shove his intestines back in.
Back inside, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Out indefinitely. No telling when he'll return.
Jeez,
All right, so who hits the field first, him or Tyrod?
Probably him. I
Yeah,
think
Does
Tyrod's
Tyrod
going to
hit the-
retire to his island.
Yeah, does Tyrod hit the field as like an owner? Are you saying?
Yeah.
Okay, who hits the field first, Lazard or Trubisky?
Lazard. Unless you're talking about picking up like confetti or something after a game.
See, I don't really understand that. We've been
Bringing
giving
water to the other guys.
We've been giving Juan shit about drafting Trubisky, but the Bears were 2-0 before they benched Trubisky in the middle of that game, and all Nick Foles needs is a bad game, and Trubisky's back in.
No.
No,
Foles has a knack of
No, the coach does not. They don't. He does not want Trubisky.
they don't like him.
He does not want Trubisky. That's why, it was almost like
they were
if
biding
this
their time.
motherfucker coughs, he's
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, look no further, Nyes, than they were 2-0. Like, they didn't even have a real reason to be like, nah, we're all done with you.
Right.
Yeah, they
You're
didn't
done.
even let him get the loss to justify it. They were like, I've seen enough.
Yeah.
I think if Nick Foles does bad, they pick up a different quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing, they didn't even name him starter till like pretty close to the start of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, because Foles came in and everyone assumed Foles was going to take over, but they never announced he was the starter. And then, right up to the last minute, then they're like, Trubisky. And the coach is
one
like,
of Foles'
"Ooh."
legs, maybe one of Foles' legs had fallen asleep and it didn't wake up till halfway through that last game. He was like,
That could be.
Coach, it's back. He's like, well, goddamn, get out there.
Thank
The
God.
leg kicked the coach and has said, "Coach,
Yeah.
put me in."
Exactly. All right, speaking of somebody getting kicked, Jose, is it appropriate to call a 145 to 106.5 beating a kick?
I see. I don't know. I think if you score over 100, you're not getting destroyed. At that point, it's just ridiculous.
I mean,
Well,
I'm not.
it's almost a
I lost
40
by
point.
I lost by 40. No,
Yeah,
I got
because-
stomped.
But no
Yeah.
one was projected for 145 points.
No.
Yeah, but you don't define the beating based on
Right,
what
right.
you were projected.
Sure.
You based on what the final score is, and the
Right.
final score is I lost by almost 40.
Yeah,
But
and nobody's saying that 106 isn't a respectable score. It certainly is, but I mean, geez, it's a 40-point beatdown.
well, I would have lost to a majority of the people because there's a lot of 120s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the highest scoring week all around.
Mhm.
Usually there's 2 teams in the high 100s, but
Yeah.
Jose only beats 2 teams this week.
yeah, in every game there was a team that scored at least 120, and then there's 2 games where 2 teams scored 140 plus.
Yeah.
That's
ridiculous.
fucking insane for this league. We're not used to that high of numbers. So 2020 wild, y'all.
It is definitely wild. I even scored over 100. I got 115.5, and I was sitting pretty, real proud of myself until Monday night when stupid Patrick Mahomes came in and scored 47 points, and Juan snuck up behind and beat me 122 to 115.5.
Oh, that game was
Juan didn't go to
fucking
sleep until that game
wild.
was over.
Juan did not go to sleep until that game was
Oh.
over. He got a couple hours of sleep that day. And you know what? Who could blame him? I was thinking about this. I'm not sure. I don't want to say that I don't want to say it and then have everybody be like, no, that's not true. I don't think I have ever lost to Juan. I think every other time I've ever played Juan, I've beaten him. So I think he was hungry for this one.
I can look that up.
Yeah, we'll have to go to the stats department for that.
But yeah, that was a painful one.
It was
I thought I
close
had
though. You had him beat up until what, that second quarter?
Yeah, I literally Sunday ended and I said I'm fine because Juan needs Mahomes to score 38 points plus whatever Marquise Brown scores,
Right.
which turned out to be 40 points because it was 2 points from Brown, which sucked. So I was like, I'm going to be fine. Like 38 points is a really good thing, but that's still a lot. Like 38 is a lot for your quarterback. So even though I think this game will be a shootout, like 38's a lot. I think I'm going to be fine. And I got Hollywood Brown. And if it's a shootout, hopefully he catches a couple of passes and maybe a touchdown or two.
But also,
nothing.
Baltimore's defense was supposed to not get slapped around like that.
Yeah.
Kansas City has their number, man. Kansas City's been putting it on him the past couple of years.
Yeah. He walked in and was like, "Oh, you're the season MVP? That's cute. Yeah. Welcome to the Super Bowl MVP."
All Marquise Brown needed was one garbage time touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson, and
that's what I thought. Especially when I saw Juan's like, "I haven't been to bed. I gotta be up at 4 a.m." I was like, "Oh man, he's gonna stay up." And here comes this just meaningless fucking long bomb 80-yard touchdown.
I was waiting. It's like it won't even matter, but like he's just gonna chuck it up, and Brown is really fast, and he'll be down there, he'll catch it. I'll get 12, 14 points out of nothing, and put me back over the top. No, big disappointment. So now I'm 0-3, right where I love to be.
Mahoney,
yeah,
you're the only team without a win.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
that's fine.
We'll talk about it.
You're the yin to my yang.
True.
The comeback is better than the setback, right, Mahoney?
That's right. It's going to be just fine. Now, my game was a heartbreaker.
Mahoney's saying that, and his whole house is on fire.
Fine. It's going to be just fine. What better way to spend 2020 than 0-3 in fantasy football? My game was a heartbreaker. This game was a heartbreaker.
Yes.
Oh God.
This was Vetter and Goat Lee. And everything looked like it was going Goat's way. Everything looked fine until what night? Was it Sunday night?
Sunday night.
Sunday night. Alvin Kamara puts up 36.5 points, and Vetter sneaks ahead. And almost to the exact same score, 122.5 to 116. Yeah, 122 to 115.5 was me and Juan.
Yeah, Vetter's team is my team of the week. With Allen scoring 38 points, who knew he was going to have this type of season? And Kamara just coming through for him when he needed him. Yep. That was amazing.
And Drew Brees not being able to get off the long ball increases Kamara's productivity so fucking much, because like all his points, they're not on rushes. They're not rushes.
Pass catches.
They're fucking catches.
Yeah.
So he's getting like 10 catches. That, you know what I mean? Like you look at his rushing stats and they're like, eh. But that's not where he's damaging. He's catching these little dinks because, he's the option when Breeze can't get it downfield, and he seems to not be able to get it downfield a lot. And this fucker's just tearing it up.
It helped that Green Bay forgot how to tackle, because he was just going right through those guys.
That guy looked invincible.
It was like they were trying to tackle him with hands of cheese.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't working.
Well, I mean, it's Wisconsin. We are all made of cheese.
And Goat's loss is definitely my bad beat of the week. To go into it was a toss up between yours and your game, Mahoney, and that one.
I mean, at least mine, there's no shame in losing to Pat Mahomes. Yeah, there's no real shame in losing to Alvin Kamara either, but
right. Well, yeah, because you're gonna bet on somebody. If you're gonna bet on somebody to score like 40 plus points, I'm gonna go Mahomes over almost anybody.
But it's almost a safe bet Kamara too. Like you can almost put that same money on Kamara, because that's not the first time he's put up numbers like that. But Mahomes is just slapping the league.
But also, while Sunday night, Mahoney still had a chance, Goat no longer had a chance.
Yeah. Goat just had to sit and slowly watch as his lead just went away, knowing there was nothing he could do. I at least was holding out for that touchdown.
Yeah, you could at least go down swinging.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. Awful.
How'd we do on the our picks last week, Mahoney?
Picks last week We were decent. So overall, Jose's gotten 7 picks right. Nice, you and I have gotten 5. Tito, you're doing terrible. You have 3.
Oh yeah, I'm always bad at picks.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, because also he's already given up 3 picks by not picking himself.
Yeah, Tito, last week you picked 1 game correctly, and it was Nice versus Tad.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
See, thank you, Nice.
You're welcome. I didn't even pick myself.
I got 2 last week. Jose and Nice, you both got 3.
Wonderful.
Nice.
All right, well, let's move on to our next segment, Jose's new segment.
Stud or dud?
Who you got this week, Jose?
Kind of Mary's whole fucking team. Her defense put up 27. I mean, they started off the goddamn bat with a pick 6 to begin with, and then they just never looked back after that, where they scored like twice. And then she picked up the rookie red receiver, Justin Jeffries, who was projected 4.4. And instead, he said, nah, 26.5.
I'm a stud.
That's the Vikings' new Stephon Diggs right there.
Yeah, which Stephon Diggs who, I guess, if that's what they're going to have. And Thielen's still feeling, so it's a great compliment. And, you know, he's a rookie, so you don't got much info on him. And fucking Mary got her Chubb on. Nick Chubb dropping 22.5.
Man, I wanted Nick Chubb so bad.
Yeah, I believe it. But he fits in your name scheme, but he definitely doesn't fit in your hair scheme.
Yeah.
That does not fit.
Yeah, but also Nick Chubb is Mary's type.
Hitting the quarterbacks, we talked about the ass whooping Tito gave me, but Russell Wilson, that motherfucker is almost averaging 40 points a week.
Yeah.
That's MVP of the season so far. 3-week MVP right there.
I mean, goddamn, that dude's killing it. Brady finally showed up. He was predicted 18. He threw up 29. Mahomes, we just talked about, was projected 22, which, you know, he can get 20. That motherfucker had like 22 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He put up 47. Running backs fucking filling in for the San Francisco, which they have like 4. They don't run out of running backs. Jeff Wilson Jr. supposed to get 7.3. He got 19.5. Balling.
Jeff Wilson Jr. sounds like he should be on the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
He does.
He opens up for Foxworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
And then
just
again,
touring the country with a racist puppet.
fucking Vetters team, all studs. Allen, 38 points. Kamara, 36.5. And Allen Robinson on Chicago, 23. Which Chicago and Nick Foles in, I think all of their offense goes up some.
Yeah.
Because Foles can definitely stretch the ball down the field. But he can also fucking throw 5 picks. I mean, there's a reason why he wasn't in LA anymore.
That's one of my players to watch is Nick Foles. I mean, I know Juan went with the homer pick there, dropping Trubisky for Foles, but the guy can still throw. The guy can throw the deep ball, which is the knock on Trubisky, that he can't throw past 20 yards. So
yeah. And this dude can throw it and throw it accurate. And then he's just a different dude. He's a different kind of guy to where everyone on the bench loves him. And they just play better because he's the fucking team whisperer. If he brings Chicago to a fucking title, get the fuck out of here. Let's talk about some fucking duds.
You got the dud!
My homeboy, Jackson 5, Mahoney's new homeboy, Dud 5. He did all right. He did good, but he definitely was not dominant in a game that we were hoping for a quarterback kind of shootout. 15 compared to 47. Not the
No.
not the shootout we were hoping for.
Yeah, that was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, the God King showed he can bleed. Running back.
I did get him in a trade this week, and I am excited to have him because, as we know, I have no quarterback, and the quarterback I picked up and started last week
is not starting today. Yeah.
Got benched in the third quarter and isn't even a starter anymore. So I'm happy to finally have that question answered.
I think he does have better games ahead of him, but I do think the league has him more figured out than KC because he can't throw like fucking Mahomes.
No, Mahomes throws off his back foot. He does.
Did you see that fucking?
It's ridiculous with all the strength in the world behind it.
That little skip pass he threw to the fullback.
Oh, the underhand shovel pass.
Get the fuck out of here, dude! Like he faked everybody out with that shit.
They kept talking about on commentary how Mahomes pops his hips when he's scrambling to make the throws, and I've never watched a man's hips so much before in my life than I did on Monday Night Football.
Well, there's that video that kind of went a little viral of Dak Prescott doing that hip thrust in the practice, and everyone kept giving him shit. Staying on Mahoney for trades, going to a guy he just got rid of, Josh Jacobs, projected 16.75, and I think that's 2 weeks in a row he has not lived up to the large breakout numbers that he put up week 1. So
I think he did decent week 2. It definitely wasn't week 1.
No,
and I'm not worried about him after week 3 because that was New England.
Yeah,
and
that's what they do.
Like they're coming right at him and like go ahead and beat us with whatever other people you have on your team. We're gonna shut this guy down.
New England's pretty good at like getting that strangle point and just choking one scenario and forcing you to your weak side. And I guess they felt Carr's their fucking weak side and they kind of fucked them up. Staying with the Raiders again with fucking New England strangleholding them. They held Waller in check too. Waller exploded for huge numbers, and he did not come through. He put
that goes to what Mahoney pointed out last week that New England's going to try to take away your best guy, and I think they after that week 2 performance they identified Waller as that guy to stop.
Yeah, because he fucking is. He was projected 10, got 1. Like, oof. New England ain't like they don't fuck around. They do their thing. And then another downslide 2 weeks in a row, who I tried to get, Mary got Mark Andrews, who kind of, but that goes with KC kind of doing the same thing. The passing game flows through Mark Andrews. If he's getting the shots off to Mark Andrews, everybody else starts to feed. And they just couldn't get the running game going. There was nothing. And then let's talk some fucking shitty D. Bills getting 0, Giants getting -4, and they were playing against each other. That was a fucking
yeah, that was wild.
Defensive. Nobody wanted it.
Defenses this year has been tough. Like, even when out on the waiver wire, you're looking around, you're like, what's out here? And all of the defenses are like average 2 points, average 3 points. Like, there's a couple that are putting up huge points week after week, but everybody else seems to be sucking.
Saints, -3. Ravens put up 1.
Somebody wants a defense. Come see me. I got 2 decent ones.
Nice's defense, 13, projected 8, 49ers, and they're banged up, but they were also playing the Giants. So I think pretty much the flow of the season goes, whoever plays the Giants, play that D.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Well,
and then some duds, y'all.
That's what they should do is whenever a team comes down with COVID, the team that was supposed to play them should just play the Giants instead.
Yeah, there you go. I did that last year. I picked up a combination of defenses that played the Dolphins for like 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just rotated through all of those defenses and was like, this is fine. This is all I need.
I did the same year for the Browns. A couple of years ago, I did that with the Browns. Anybody who played the Browns, I would pick up.
I feel like last year everyone was chasing whoever was playing the Jets.
That works too. That works this year too, by the way.
Yeah, they still might be chasing that.
That works every year.
Speaking of, what is the score? Because there is a game going on.
It is 10-10.
Me and Goat going at it. Man,
it is 10-10 right now.
If this motherfucker makes the dud list next week, Melvin Gordon, man, he's
a Melvin. He's a Melvin.
He is proving it.
But look, they have their 3rd quarterback in, so they're going to key on Gordon.
Never trust a Melvin. He's always going to be a Melvin.
It's too hot in here.
Too many lights on.
All right, Tito, we want to go down the Week 3 rankings. How are we doing?
Let's go with the best division in the league, which is the Cybertron Division. That's with me on top at 3-0. The only division that has an actually winning second-place team. And that is Jesus Wands at 2-1. But we're also the division with the only winless team, and that's Mahoney, as we've stated in the past already.
It's fine. Don't worry about
but
it.
even the winless team's not bad. I still say the champion comes out of our division.
Absolutely. 2 of the playoff teams are coming out of our division, so the
Guys,
rest
I'm,
of you
not,
better
I'm
win.
not in your division.
No, that's fine. You're going to win yours. And then whoever else is going to have to win theirs.
Let's go to Kelly's division. That's the Hell's Kitchen division, which he sits on top at 3-1. And the rest of the division,
No, 3-0.
3-0, excuse me. 3-0. You're
I didn't play an extra game.
And you have Mary's Bright to Bite Sons, Mel's Jackie Daytona Human Bartenders, and Mel Shelbyville Sharks all sitting at 1 and 2. And the Japan Shit division, Vetter's COVID quarantines, which is really consistent. If you look at from week to week to week, his scoring output, he has a really consistent team. He's sitting on top at 3-0, and with the rest of the division sitting at 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting when you look at everything. So we've got 3 teams at 3-0. We got Kelly, Tito, and Vetter. And then we've got 1 team at 0-3. We won't name any names. And then Juan at 2-1. And then everyone else is 1 and 2. So it's one game and you're back in it.
Yeah.
Well, except for one team.
One of us needs a couple of games.
Yeah, but
let him dream.
Yeah, but if
but you know, one at a time, you can't get to 3-3 until you get to 1 and 3.
But if
So,
Mahoney wins, and if Jose loses, you guys are tied for last place.
Yep.
So, it's not that far off. Any given Sunday,
Jose doesn't like those ties. Kelly mentioned a minute ago that he hasn't played an extra game. Tito, I would be willing to play an extra game if you set that up.
Fucking extra credit.
Who's currently in the Kerouac position?
Me! I'm 0-3.
Yeah.
But it
What do you want
matter.
your team name to be
It
next
doesn't
year?
matter. Come see me in the Kerouac. You better hope you win.
Just a shitload of 1 and 2s.
But
man.
that's
wild.
That goes to show why Mahoney's being so aggressive. I mean, Mahoney's usually very aggressive. He's made 20 acquisitions or moves so far, and it's only week 3.
Yep.
I'm always blown away when I see a trade go down and Mahoney's not involved.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah,
else
we
likes
got
trades.
And we've had a couple.
Mahoney at 20 moves. The next is Jackie Daytona at 10. And then we got me and Tito tied for 9.
See, that's so wild to me because I honestly don't feel like I've made that many. Like, I don't feel like I've made that many
What you
changes.
did? Yeah, but look at your roster. You only have your whole starting lineup. You got like 2 guys that you drafted. Everybody else was picked up or traded for.
I suppose I have changed a lot of defenses. I've changed my kicker like every single week. I picked up stupid Gotskowski in the draft. He missed 3 field goals. I dropped him. Then he scored 25 points.
Yeah.
He's been unbelievable. So I picked him back up, and then his team is gone from COVID.
His team gets COVID.
Like, fuck off.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of COVID, injury report. What teams? There are 2 games that are currently postponed?
Yeah.
Well, the Titans and the Vikings. Well, the Titans had to break out, but they played the Vikings, so the Vikings closed down as precaution.
Yes.
But I don't know if they had anyone that tested.
Yeah, I think everyone tested negative.
Right.
Okay.
It's a precaution. I think somebody from the staff had COVID, and they just went through their whole protocol.
With Minnesota?
No, with
Tennessee.
Minnesota.
Well,
Tennessee,
no,
I think.
well-
Tennessee had a player, I think.
No, well, Tennessee had 2 players that didn't make that were already missing the game, and then they had staff, and then I think they had another couple players.
Yeah. Tennessee was delayed until like Monday,
Which
and then had another positive test, and now they're delayed until who knows when.
I'm really surprised that somebody from Tennessee got COVID because, as we all know, it doesn't exist in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's
so
over.
I don't know
No.
how somebody.
Well, yeah,
Tennessee-
but they were on the road, weren't they?
I don't know. I honestly I don't know.
So
what's better.
in their defense, they could say it still didn't happen in Tennessee.
Well, whoever got the squirt juice in their mouth probably did it in Tennessee.
there you go. Somebody went to Magic City again.
Yeah.
Does Tennessee have a Magic City?
Oh, I'm
they have a
sure.
few.
Yeah, Shelbyville.
How do you think Lee makes all his monies for all those primes?
Mm-hmm.
Spreading them cheeks.
Make
Oh
that
my
shit
God.
clap.
All right, who are we looking at this week? Let's go to the watch list.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Tito, what do you think? Who's the player to watch this week?
I mentioned Nick Foles earlier, so I'll keep an eye on him. The other guy I'm keeping an eye on is Mahoney's Michael Thomas. I know he rolled the dice there in that trade with Mary to acquire a then out Michael Thomas. I think he
Is that the guy that
practiced-
made Wendy's?
Yes.
That's Dave.
That's Danny Thomas. Close
Dave.
enough. Dave.
Danny Thomas made Jack in the Box.
There you go. So he should. I don't know if he's projected to be back, but I know he did practice today, so that's a
He's
good
supposed
sign.
to be back.
So then that would be a big pickup for Mahoney there.
I
Yeah,
like it.
good.
I grabbed that. See, the nice part about being 0-3 is I get my choice of waiver wire picks.
You sure do.
And so I grabbed what's his face, who's replacing McCaffrey, and then I was like, but McCaffrey's going to be back, and when he's back, like this guy's useless, and I'm going to need to make some changes in a couple of weeks, and so that's why I went out. I looked for somebody like Thomas that wasn't playing now. That I was like, how's about we make a trade that'll benefit me in like 2, maybe 3 weeks, and benefit you right now.
Yeah, playing that
So-
4D chess.
Yep, it all worked out.
Jose, you got anybody you keeping an eye on?
Well, Mahoney snagged Jimmy Graham, which I like that move.
Yeah, that's my watch.
Like Tito's watching Foles, so I picked up Miller. Mahoney picked up Graham, so I'm very interested to see Chicago's offensive output.
Yep.
And then I liked Kelly's. He picked up Mo Alley Cox, the
That's a
tight
good
end,
pickup. That's a
and
really solid pickup.
Hunter Renfro, because he seemed to have some skills showing against New England that game. Like he looked like he could turn that into something this year. I did have Lazard, but we all know what that happened.
Yeah,
He had
you can
fucking
watch him roll out of the hospital and head home.
too many fucking too many
Crunches.
balls.
I was
but
I was honestly surprised to wake up Wednesday morning and see that nobody had picked up Gronk. Even though he only scored 7 points in week 3. But I mean that's a what, 700% improvement over week 2?
Like I had him initially, and then I dropped him. I
Nobody
don't
wants
trust
Gronk.
him.
Nobody wants Gronk.
I think there's value there, but not now. Like he's coming
Not consistently.
Off of not playing.
Yeah.
He's coming off of not playing a year, so the preseason wasn't a normal preseason. So I don't even know if he's still in game shape where he can take a hit the way he
Yeah.
used to.
That's
A
what they
Gronk
were.
himself.
0-point game is a real damning bit of evidence against him.
Gronk himself after the 0-point game was like, I'm a blocking tight end.
Right.
I'm here to block. And it's like, listen, I know that you are a good blocking tight end, but don't pretend like you're a blocking tight end and you're not here to catch the ball. Like, the fuck are you talking about?
well, the one thing I didn't like that I heard the coach say once was like, we're not going to throw the tight ends all day. We got fucking wide receivers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when he says something like that, I'm like,
But
well,
then they're throwing OJ Howard.
Yeah.
Though.
He's
well,
trying
he said,
to say
he said
we're
that
not.
before the week. He said that, and then Gronk has his best game. So
He's trying to say we're not New England Junior, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like this isn't New England 2.0.
I don't know why. Like, how about Tom Brady? You can throw to whoever you want. 'cause
Right.
You're
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Like,
Yeah, so I imagine that's what I was thinking. I imagine Brady sitting back and listening to this and being like, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna throw who I want to throw to."
yeah. I will throw the ball to whoever I want to throw. If I want to throw the ball to fucking defense, I'm gonna throw it to the defense.
that's why Gronk had so many picks out of spite. That's why the
Probably.
yards weren't there. It was like, no, I'm just going to throw it to him because I can get it to him now. And then I dropped Gage and Green, and Shark picked them up. So I'm interested to see if they do anything. But I took T. Higgins instead of Green. So
I went looking for T. Higgins, and he was already gone.
Well, yeah, because you wasted that kick on a kicker who got his team quarantined.
No, I picked up my kicker after waivers. I've decided I'm not using waiver claims on things
For a
like
kicker,
kickers.
yeah,
Like,
no.
I'm not going to the back of the waiver line to pick up a kicker when there's 25 kickers out there that all score about the same.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
put in 4 waiver moves a week. He's your 4th.
Exactly.
Or
I
he's your like Sunday 11 a.m. pickup.
Yeah, I almost didn't go for Graham first overall, but then my my tight end is from Tennessee, and I was worried that they weren't going to play, and I was like, well, I need a tight end, so I might as well grab him.
Oh, Jose, I think Gordon just scored a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking at it now.
Well, I need it because the other Broncos touchdown was Goat's wide receiver. 1 catch, 48-yard touchdown.
Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
That kid, I had him.
killing
I
it.
dropped him, but that kid is good.
These
That
fucking
kid is
names, though. Jerry Jeudy.
Not a cool name.
Yeah. Kelly, speaking of, has anyone gotten a cool new haircut this week that has caught your eye?
Nothing that I've noticed.
No.
have
you seen any cool haircuts?
You know what? Jose and I were watching Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night, and we had a long discussion about hairdos. So I think if this fantasy football season goes well for you, you might want to look into fantasy basketball and see if you could pick up a team full of haircuts.
Because if you put a basketball team together by the same criteria, you'd have a pretty solid fucking team.
And Kelly,
how many points in a fantasy
there'd be
basketball league do you get for passing to your friend?
You'd have no shortage of players there, Kelly.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of cool names and cool haircuts.
I mean, there probably is you probably do get points for assists, so
we should try that next season.
Hey, man, let's get wild.
I've never done a basketball fantasy because I was always afraid.
I've never done that either.
We had talked about doing it and starting it after the All-Star break. I believe we've had that discussion before.
Fuck it, let's just do fantasy hockey too.
And Kelly, I want to make sure you realize we are in no way mocking your strategy of cool names and haircuts.
No, it's a fantastic strategy.
Because you know what? It's as fucking
let's
scientific.
Do fantasy baseball too.
It's as scientific
let's
as
do all of them and invite Lee to everything.
Fantasy MMA.
You're not going to have the same luck with hockey, though.
Because they wear helmets.
I don't know how many
that's
cool
a bunch
haircuts.
of bowl cuts. That's a bunch of bowl cuts and mullets.
Yeah, but with
Hawkeye,
hockey, I could go with cool European names.
Right. Yeah, you go with cool European names and teeth.
Yeah. Can I draft Shorzy with my number roll?
Sure.
Only if you tug your balls.
Sure you can, too, fucker. All right, let's keep things moving. Anybody else got any more players they're keeping an eye on?
Yeah, actually. I've been keeping an eye. You know, you always got to keep an eye on the legends. Tiki Barber.
How is he? How's he doing?
He's doing great. He's ready to suit up any day. I think
he's well rested.
Yeah, just
fresh off that Kinky Boots tour.
Yeah, add him to your bench.
Oh, touchdown, Jose! You got it.
Oh man,
they reviewed it and you got it.
Forever.
Because I'll tell you what, if Melvin Gordon can't have a good game against the fucking Jets, 2020's doomed.
Yeah. Jose said that the Lakers need to win the championship or we're all cursed.
Yeah. Like Kobe going down started the curse. So I think if the Lakers win,
it'll start reversing
break
things.
it.
I like your theory. I'm all for your theory.
I'm willing to try anything at this point.
Right.
If LeBron James gets hurt during the series, we're all doomed.
Why are you putting that juju out there? What are you doing?
Because I'm just covering all my bases, man.
Don't.
Because I'm continuing the curse.
But if they sweep, we're gonna get a cure.
Yeah.
A few of those Heat players are doubtful for the next
season. and that sucks too because like from tip off just hurt and when
hey, you know what, Jose? Maybe we should cover this on our fantasy basketball podcast.
Yeah. Let's
yeah, that's me and Jose's other podcast where it's actually Tito pretending to be me and he discusses basketball.
Let's throw
And
it to
Kelly calls in as Tito.
Yeah.
Let's throw it to Mahoney and let's preview week 4.
No.
All right.
No.
Week 4. Man. So I'm 0-3. It's not getting any better for me week 4. I got to go up against Kelly and his 3-0 team, and he's already projected at 120. His defense is going there at 8 points. I'm projected at 107. Two of my teammates I wanted to start are sitting out with COVID. Just the wheels are off this bus.
It's real big. I'm sorry. I love you. Energy from me.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster. I'm going to be 0-4. I'm going to be a third of the way. Do we play 12 games? How many games do we even play? I'm going to be real far in.
0-4 is a very
tough hole to climb out of.
Yeah.
But
and you know what sucks is I'm not an 0-4 team. These aren't 0-4 players.
it's your schedule. You got a rough schedule.
Yeah. It's wild.
But
Well, number one, you're in the wrong division because everyone
Yeah,
who starts in
sure.
our division has a rough fucking opening week.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tito.
Yeah. Tito, he did the same thing last year, though. Remember last year for the first 5
Yeah,
weeks?
he was
we were
6-0,
Tito's gonna win the
wasn't he, or
whole
something?
thing?
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't 6-0. It was Mary who was undefeated for a while there, but I wasn't 6-0.
I was making all those memes of Tito as Mecha Godzilla just blowing us all up. And then something happened. I don't know. and his team
Maybe
just
that's what it
quieted
is.
down.
Maybe we're lacking some memes from you. That's what.
You know what? Get ready.
Yeah, I think your team's production goes hand in hand with your meme
My
production.
memes production.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And it just hasn't been there this
Oh, I
year.
got-
And I
Well,
think
we
your
have been
team's
talking
strugg-
about your memes being underappreciated in other circles.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
I
you
got an update on that. I'll tell
seasoned
you
in the
about later.
wrong spot.
You
Yeah.
can't spell team without meme.
And I'm
That's
just
right.
looking at Goat's poor bench, postponed. Derrick Henry, postponed. AJ Brown, postponed. Sorry.
Well, I think even if 2 of Mahoney's players weren't licking doorknobs in Tennessee, he still would have had a hard time against Kelly. But
Oh yeah.
but week 5, I'm holding out hope for you there, Mahoney.
Who do I have week 5?
You're going 1-4, buddy.
Let's do it. I can't wait. All right. Well, it's not going to be much easier for Matt. Matt's projected to beat Vetter. Matt and Vetter go head-to-head next week. Matt is projected to win 108-103.
I don't believe that.
Like we
first.
just talked about, Vetter has been so consistent. His team always puts up the points. I think that the projections are still underselling Allen, so I'm not feeling at all confident with a 108-103 projection.
And Shark is putting his bet on a rookie quarter. Well, it's a homer pick, so sometimes those tend to be a little cloudy.
Sentimental.
Going with Burrows.
Burrows has done pretty well.
He
But
has.
they've also got
But now you're getting film on him. Now you're week 3.
Right.
So now people are going to start figuring out his tendencies, what to do, what to take away, and it's going to start getting rough for him.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, going back to last week, Shark did only score 70 some odd points.
Yeah, fair.
and he's projected 103, but it shows right here Raheem Mostert is projected 0.
Oh.
And if he
So
starts, if he
he's-
comes back,
Yeesh.
Yeah, he's projected 103 with one of his starting running backs not even projected. a score.
Vetter hasn't
All right,
even
well, shit,
adjusted
Shark.
his lineup.
You're in trouble.
Who did you trade to Shark, Mahoney? Josh Jacobs and who?
Jacobs. No,
That's
just
it.
Jacobs.
Just Josh Jacobs. I gave Mary 2 players for Thomas, and then it was Josh Jacobs straight up for Lamar Jackson.
Josh Jacobs is going to go for 35 this week.
Probably. I hope he does. Good.
They're playing Buffalo though. Buffalo's defense
defense is
it can be good, but yeah, he'll end up going for 35. He'll average 35 the rest of the season.
I think I'm only playing Matt 1 week, so I hope Jacobs scores him 50 points a week every other week. I don't care. Go for it. All right, nice. Man, what's up with your lineup? Juan's projected to beat you 102-84.5.
Well, here's the thing. He would be projected to beat me no matter what lineup I set up. So I'm trying to get creative. I'm trying to play the numbers and make something
I like
out of
it.
it. So I was looking at it because, he's got Mahomes and I've got 2 fucking Kansas City wide receivers. So I figure if he's throwing to those guys, then at least I'm keeping up with Mahomes a little bit. And then every time Mahomes throws to one of my guys, Juan's going to be like, oh, fuck. So there's that.
That's a solid approach.
Unless
he's throwing to my tight end.
Right.
Juan pulls something of his own and benches Mahomes to negate your wide receivers.
Oh, man. He puts in Nick Foles, and Nick Foles puts up 45.
Well, I mean, we'll never hear the end of it.
Just because he benches Mahomes doesn't mean my wide receivers aren't going to score points.
It doesn't mean Mahomes gets benched in real life.
Right. What if word gets out that Mahomes is being taken out of the starting lineup in fantasy? And
Mahoney, you need to send him a tweet.
The coach loses faith in him.
So, yeah, as of
I'm
right
going
now...
to send Patrick Mahomes a tweet that says that he's not starting and he's not even going to show up for the game.
So right now, Juan has the Jets defense going. So they've got 6 points.
Oh, wow.
It's almost at halftime right now.
And you know what? I like being projected to lose because I was projected to lose last week. So keep projecting me to lose, and I won't be disappointed when I do lose. But yeah, as of right now, I'm gonna start Cole Hardman and Sammy Watkins and hoping that Mahomes throws it to those two guys and those two guys only for the entire game.
I think it's a solid approach. I don't know if it'll work out for you, but I think it's a solid approach.
Now,
what do you got to lose?
The other thing that I'm kind of on the fence about is Mark Ingram has been a disappointment for me, especially this past week. And then I thought I was so fucking smart last week picking up Rex Burkhead. And on my bench, he got how many points?
It's like 30, 20 something.
Yeah. He got 29.5 points on my bench last week. And I started bragging. I was like, oh, look at me making a good move. This guy's on my bench. He's fucking going into my starting lineup next week. Watch this. And then you were all like, slow your roll. He's a fucking fill-in. The starter's coming back. He's not going to make that much next week. I'm like, God damn it. So, but I'm still not impressed with Ingram. So between Mark Ingram and Rex Burkhead, I got to make a decision. So I think I need to refer to FantasyBot 9000 and figure this out.
Welcome.
Despite a breakout performance in Week 3, Rex Burkhead is not expected to accumulate as many fantasy points in Week 4 due to the expected return of James White. Mark Ingram had a disappointing outing during Monday Night Football, along with the rest of the Baltimore Ravens, and in 3 weeks of play has accumulated less fantasy points than Burkhead did in Week 3 alone while sitting on your bench. Ha ha ha.
I mean, that's not very nice, FantasyBot, and you didn't even tell me which one I need to start against Juan.
Hey man, figure it out for yourself. Why don't you program yourself a robot nephew to make all your fantasy decisions for you?
Oh,
that's not nice either, but
it's not nice.
All right.
You guys notice that FantasyBot kind of sounds like broken Matt Hardy with the way he pronounces things?
I mean, it's just, I'm not very good at programming robots. Like, this is my first robot, so,
So you have a broken robot?
Yeah, I mean, it's not great.
FantasyBot was doing fine, but then I spilled the drink on him.
Just wait until he starts like clanking his teeth together and saying yes.
Juan threatened to piss in FantasyBot 9000 last week, and it's like, come on.
No.
I mean, it's not like.
Yeah, didn't he give FantasyBot the finger?
Yeah, the darkest, most depressing middle finger I've ever seen in my life.
Oh. All right, let's wrap up these picks. Tito, looks like you're going to crush Mary 119 to 102 in the projections. I know Mary's, she was 0-2 till last week. She put up a hell of a week last week. What it's going to be for her is her rookie. Can her rookie come through for her again? Do they figure him out? Does he keep that up?
Well,
and then,
does the rookie play?
Will he not? Why would he not?
Minnesota postponed too.
Oh no.
No,
Minnesota's
not.
playing.
They're back on.
Yeah, they're back on.
Minnesota had to mess with practice a little bit, but only Tennessee and Pittsburgh
actually
postponed.
postponed the game.
Yeah. So we'll see. Then we got Tad and Mel. I think Tad, I don't have his roster up, but he must be having some trouble with some players because he's only projected at 88.4.
Well,
He's got an empty spot in his flex.
Yeah, he currently doesn't have a flex.
I think he's waiting for our trade to go through.
Yeah, must be. So we'll see what Tad comes in at. Mel's projected for 111. Honestly, this is a toss-up for me. I don't know which one of them is going to win. Both of their teams are a little hot and cold. I don't know. Could go either way.
Tad making trades, huh? That's interesting.
Tad, anytime you're ready, reach out.
Yeah. You're going to be waiting a while there, buddy.
I won't say no.
Did he tell you
I might,
something,
but...
Tito?
You're going to be waiting a while.
Tito made a comment earlier like, yeah, there's a couple people he won't be trading with anytime soon, as if Tad said this to your face.
No, you can kind of read the room over the past couple of seasons. Like, Juan's never trading with Mahoney. That's not happening.
He did that one time.
Yeah. He did that one time with me, too, and he's never let me live it down.
Well, that was ridiculous. That was all the same season, I think.
Juan
Juan made some bad trades, okay? Juan probably should just shut down his trade department. All right. Well, things look bright. He's got Lee. Jose, you're projected to win 112 to 100. I don't know. Lee's team is no slouch, but they had to sit so many of their players for COVID that I think you got them right where you want them.
Well,
wow.
Because I lose. I don't have to play against Derrick Henry or A.J. Brown.
Yep.
And, well, he wouldn't have started Ben over. And then Corey Davis. So pretty much the Tennessee's attack I'm avoiding.
Yeah.
So do we know what happens to those postponed games in terms of fantasy points?
Because you don't play those. It's like a bye week.
It's like a bye week. Those guys just don't exist.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure. Because aren't they getting the game's supposed to be Tuesday, correct?
No, it's delayed even further. It was going to be Tuesday.
Oh.
And so it was going to be Tuesday, and the players were still going to count for this week.
Okay,
but
that's what I was wondering.
Then there was additional positive tests, and now it's the game scheduled for 10 weeks from now.
Oh, okay.
And so I would assume I can play these players then.
Well, it depends on
we'll see when the game is.
Our season might be over by the time they play.
True.
Yeah.
True. So we'll see.
Because we might be in the play because we stopped before the season, so that our playoffs count.
And potentially, when would that game be? Would they play twice in 1 week?
No, well, one of the contingency plans the NFL put in for COVID was there's an added bye week or something like that at the end of the season. So after week 17, just in case they had to postpone games. So you might have a week 18 scenario here where a few teams have to play each other because they had to skip a game during the season.
Yeah. Okay. And sometimes in other sports, I'm not a football guy, but I do know, sometimes you postpone a game, and if it turns out that game doesn't matter for the standings, you're just never mind. The game's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do that in baseball all the time.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the week.
Exciting.
If you want to see our picks, our official picks, we'll post that up in the Discord, okay? We don't want to go through the whole rigmarole of making the picks and tracking the picks here. We'll put that up in the Discord, so go to discord.panelsonpages.com and you can find us there. We got the Pop Fantasy Football section.
Wonderful. All right. Well, it's getting late, so let's we're getting into garbage time, so let's do the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
Before we get out of here, we got 2 questions. One of them was dropped in the chat as we started the show tonight, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. It is from Corello Gaming, and their question is John Brown or Ayuk PPR flex. Who is Ayuk?
He's the San Francisco rookie, or I don't know if he's a rookie, but his productivity will depend on who comes back from injuries. Because I picked him up and then I dropped him
If it's
because I
between
heard the
those
same-
two guys, I'm gonna go with Brown. He's been a little more consistent this year, and Allen's been balling out. So I don't see no reason why not to go with
I love
Brown.
John Brown. I have John Brown. Love John Brown. Loved him last year. I think he's underrated, underappreciated. Like, he's a nice, consistent. Now here's the deal. He was hurt, so monitor him, because I don't know if he's going to play. If he doesn't play, you can try to get Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley is a nice replacement for John Brown, but I think John Brown is one of those guys who will just consistently give you like 8 to 13 points, and nobody ever cares about him. Like, he just kind of hangs out. Nobody worries. Nobody wonders.
It's kind of
quiet. Just consistently puts it up.
Yeah, quiet consistency there.
Yeah.
I need some of that.
But San Francisco dude could end up being the real deal if they keep getting him plays, because he pass caught and he rushed, and it's always good to see a wide receiver used in both positions like that. So I wouldn't completely write him off, but it's really going to depend on when everyone's back, because Kittle's coming back, the running back's coming back, the other hurt wide receivers are coming back. Now, how much production are they going to throw his way? Because if Kittle's healthy, he's option 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And something to think about, this dude is named after Goofy's laugh, so.
But also, Goofy's laugh has been around a while, so that might show consistency.
I mean, I think it might be more risky if he was named after Goofy's.
There you go.
All right, and then Vetter asked a question in the Pop Discord, in the Pop Fantasy Football channel. He says, all right, which of the remaining undefeated 3 teams will go the longest before losing? Will Mahoney ever win? And who will finish in last place?
Tito, no. Mahoney.
I'm going to win. I'm not going 0, and I don't even know how many games we play.
You're not
going to win.
Well, I'm going to say
Mahoney wins one of his next 2 games.
Yeah. I would say the
Not
second
his
game.
next game.
Yeah, not
Hey,
this
man,
next
2020
week.
Probably
wild,
not
y'all.
my next game. I think I'm
2020
going
wild,
0-4.
y'all. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think I'm going 0-4. I am not convinced that I will not make it to the Kerouac competition, but I do not expect to come in last place.
0
If you go
and
in 0
4.
and 6, we're
0
going to have a
and
talk.
4. 0
Oh.
and 4. 0 and 4.
Oh,
Fantasy
no.
bot.
Ha 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 ha.
Juan, take care of him.
Yeah, your next game after Kelly is against Shark.
So at
Okay.
what point is everyone on your team available?
Hey, man, everybody on my team's always available.
Now,
You not know me at all? Have you
I
just
never
met
close
me?
my store doors.
See,
I traded my first round pick.
I think Vetter might go the longest before a loss.
Well, yeah, but you also took a guy you were going to take with your first pick.
Yeah.
So
I did.
that's no loss there.
I
But
viewed it.
if you were able to snag a different quarterback, I would have tried to keep Jacobs. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I don't have a lot of faith in Las Vegas in general.
Yeah, I can see that.
In general.
They're kind of hot or cold. Like, Waller and Jacobs look like they were going to do that all season. And then all of a sudden they ran into a defense that slapped them and they're like, nope.
Yeah. So I was kind of like, I expected to get either Mahomes or Jackson with that. What did I pick? 11th? I expected to get Mahomes or Jackson with that number 11 pick. So when Shark came knocking and was like, would you go Jacobs for a quarterback? I was like, yeah, why not? It's basically just redoing the draft. Like, sure.
Did you see, we were watching the game and the first half, Gruden had that mask on, but it looked fucking cool. It looked like, like a bank robber. And it looked with the vibe of, the silver and black and the Raiders and the Chucky, like it looked cool. It looked like some real Red Dead cool shit. But then by the third quarter, when New England was just spanking their shit, like it was all turned to the side and all fucking, and then that turned into a meme where everyone was saying he was wearing panties as a protest.
Oh my God.
For wearing a mask, that he just went out there with panties on his face. But it was funny just watching as New England beat their ass more and more, the mask shift farther to the side of his face because he just kept ripping it off to yell at somebody and then just. So panties, y'all.
As far as who will finish in last place, my gut wants to say Tad because he doesn't talk to us. I think my sleeper, and I hate to say this because I love him, but man, Mel is scrambling lately. So just as long as it's not me, for fuck's sake.
I mean, it could be anybody at this point.
Whoa.
We just
have we had a back-to-back?
I
had a back-to-back Kerouac?
No. This past year was my first ever official Kerouac. You guys have tried to pin the Kerouac on me multiple seasons.
But that's what I'm saying. If you won the Kerouac this year, you would be the first repeat challenge.
I don't know. I don't know. We'd have to go to the stat man for that.
I don't think anyone.
I think that
twice.
would be the case.
I'm a stat man.
Fantasy Bot, who do you think will finish in last place?
Error. Pardon me. I seem to be coming down with robot COVID. Shutting down.
Goodbye.
Oh, that sucks.
What?
just run.
I thought he was doing a Jose impression at first.
Just
He's
run
gonna have to be quarantined for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, he just needs to run like a McAfee virus scan. He'll be fine, I'm sure. All right, well, let's wrap things up. Kelly, thank you for finally joining us on Pop Fantasy Football.
Oh, no problem.
Do you have any final thoughts for this week?
I'm probably gonna win. That's about it.
Probably.
I'm probably gonna win. Fuck the world. I'm out.
All right, Tito, what do you think?
Don't be afraid to make moves, man. I mean, I know sometimes trading, you don't want to give up too much, but you have to give something up to get something. So trade from strength. Look at what you have on your team. Look what you have to offer other people, and try to work from that perspective. Don't be afraid to roll the dice.
Yeah, Mel offered me Aaron Rodgers and I forget who for Christian McCaffrey. And while I appreciate the offer, I got 1 week out of my number one pick. So I'd like to maybe get a second week out of him somewhere along the line. So
it's not like he's not producing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, what am I going to do with him?
Now, if we didn't have those IR slots, it would be a different story. But he's just sitting there not harming anything right now.
Yeah. And the game he went out, the motherfucker put up like 24. He wasn't done.
He went out on a touchdown.
Yeah, he was not done.
All right, Jose, what do you think?
I'm interested to see these changes, who they go into effect. You know what I mean? Like who's going to benefit from some of these pickups and trades, because some interesting trades were made. Not only did Mahoney trade his first pick, but Lamar Jackson was his first pick. So that's
and Michael Thomas was Mary's.
Exactly. A lot of first picks traded around, but Mary's looking pretty good out of that deal because I don't think Eckler's going to stop.
Yeah,
the only thing that's going to stop Eckler's injury.
And that's why I made my trade with Tad. I traded Justin Jackson to him for Will Fuller, which is your favorite player. Jose.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll pick him up in week 8 after you drop him when he pulls his hamstring.
By the way, he pulled his hamstring in practice today.
Of course, of course he did. See, and okay, and then that's another thing. So like, I had Gage on Atlanta. I fucking love Gage, but I dropped him, and Shark picked him up. But I'm very wary about hamstrings and concussions. And Gage had a concussion. So we'll see if Gage turns into this year's Will Fuller.
Or maybe he'll go full MDK on him.
Maybe.
He fucking might, man.
All right, Mahoney, give it to me.
All right, you ready for your new name?
I am ready.
All right, your new name this week, as we say goodbye to 90s TV legend Will Friedle.
Which
was a really wonderful name.
It might be my favorite one so far.
Yeah,
it's probably my favorite one. Honestly, when you can pick your own name again, wouldn't be a bad one.
No.
But this week, we're going to go... you're in a very giving mood this week, I think.
Okay.
And so for a team name, I thought, and the comma in here is going to be important. It's here, comma, have a hot dog.
It all started about asking him about his butt.
And then I'll make my abbreviation Gliz. Wonderful.
Or you could do GLZY.
There you go. See? We got a lot of strong minds in this group here. Yep. If you want to ask a question to this fucking brain trust, hit us up in the Pop Discord, the Pop Fantasy Football channel. And we're all on Twitter, so if you join us in the chat every week. We plan to do it Wednesday, but it always happens on Thursday. So yeah, you can ask a question in the chat just like Corello Gaming. We'll give you our best answer. Do not start Goofy's laugh. How about that? You can download Pop Fantasy Football and the Panels on Pages podcast on your favorite podcast app every week. iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts. If you can't find it on your favorite, let us know and we will get it on there. And while you're on there, leave us a review, leave us 5 stars. All that helps us out. Getting some good traction. We're 3 weeks into this so far, not including the draft special. Not amazing numbers, but we're not being listened to. And, seeing
Is
somebody...
it more people than are in the league?
Yeah, we've...
Hell yeah.
Between... we're probably pushing 100 listeners a week.
That's
right
way
now.
more people than that's in the league.
Next year, 100-man league.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of leagues.
Everyone gets 2 picks.
And no disrespect, I don't know who the fuck Corello Gaming is, but I mean, this person just showed up and asked a question apropos of nothing, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, stick around.
And just like Corello Gaming, you could watch us live on YouTube every week at youtube.com/panelsonpages and chat with us in real time. Be sure to like, subscribe Panels on Pages on YouTube. We got the Pop Fantasy Football. We've got the Panels on Pages podcast live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. This past week, we talked top 6 cookies. And if you don't think that's some of the best content you'll ever hear, you're fucking wrong. And then every week on the Pop YouTube, we also do Mahoney's top 6 TikToks of the week, which is some real dark stuff.
Just a really wonderful time.
Yeah. And then besides that, we got 10 years of groundbreaking Panels on Pages video and audio content there for you. So if you like this, if you listen to this and you enjoy it, you're going to like all that other stuff because it's the same motherfuckers doing the same thing every week. We talked about the Discord. Join the Pop Discord at discord.panelsonpages.com. Get involved in the discussion in the Pop Fantasy Football channel, and you can keep an eye out for programming updates in there. We link the YouTube link in there every week when we start up. And follow us on Twitter. I'm at BelieveInNies. We got at Mahoney_D, at Wrath99, at @the_Guzmaniac, and at Comic Geek Kelly. And also follow Pop at Panels on Pages. And that's about it for us. Thank you for joining us for the Pop Fantasy Football Week 3 recap. Good luck to everyone competing out there in this league and beyond. And we will see you next week.
The whole thing's fucked.